at 954-717. Staff, management, or sponsors.
Welcome to How to Stay Healthy, where we interview doctors each week across the vast medical landscape of cardiology, neurology, orthopedics, sports medicine, and primary care. Join us here for your prescription to better health. Hello, South Florida and beyond, and welcome to the How to Stay Healthy show. This evening, we're going to be doing a little bit of a U-turn from the doctors and nurses that we have on the program. We're going to talk a little bit about healthcare law, elder law, and VA benefits on the show. So without further ado, I want to, my parents,
right,
and, they're baby boomers kind of getting to that, about to turn 70. Exactly. So that's big. So I definitely wanted to have you on the show about that. And then we have a huge VA hospital right down the street here in West Palm Beach. I've only been in it one time, but I was amazed at the size of it. I had no idea until I went inside.
It's massive.
So I'm hoping you can tell us a lot about that as well, because I know you're an expert in that. But let's start with elder law. So what is elder law, and why should someone have an expert kind of in their back pocket to use?
So what is elder law? Elder law is a general term to describe helping represent people and as an advocate for those who are aging. And it encompasses a lot of areas in the law, from guardianships to estate planning to Medicaid planning to get people benefits from the VA. There's a lot of things that it encompasses. What I do is a lot of elder planning strategies.
Okay.
I like to be the planner. I like to be the person that is not dealing with an emergency, although a good portion of our practice deals with the emergency as well. Sometimes I don't get to pick when my clients call me.
Okay. And you said emergency, so what types of emergencies happen where someone needs a lawyer on the fly for elder law?
A lot of times what happens is a client of mine, or actually I'll get a call from the son or daughter of a client of mine, and mom fell.
Oh, okay.
And she broke her hip. And she's now in rehab. They don't understand the difference between what Medicare covers and Medicaid. The brilliance of our government is they call two completely different programs pretty much the same thing. And it's, they use the wrong term each and every time I talk to them. Well, Medicare, I want to get my mom on. No, it's Medicaid. What do you need to do? Is Medicaid the appropriate benefit? What other benefits are there? How do we come up with a strategy to keep your mom safe? So that's an emergency because they don't have the luxury of time. We have maybe 1 month, 2 months to have a plan in place. And a lot of times that plan covers, encompasses taking that person home, finding benefits from the VA. And a lot of people don't even know what those benefits are. And if you don't mind, I could be more than happy to explain that.
Yeah, I want to get right into that. I just want to share something. I've been in that place before. My mom fell, and I didn't know too much about Medicare and all that. And before, I knew it when she had her surgery, and then, she was want to get you out of the hospital as soon as possible. So she was sent to a rehabilitation nursing home, and it was one of the really good ones. So we were really lucky. But I had a lot of questions at the time, and I didn't have an expert to ask. And we've talked a lot about Medicare on this program, and unless you're really skilled and educated in Medicare and Medicaid, it can be a little confusing, to be honest with you. So I'm glad you mentioned that. But let's, like you said, talk about VA benefits. Now, I know that can be everything from, if you served in a certain war, all the way around that 360.
Exactly. So in elder care planning, that's where I focus in the VA world. I am an accredited attorney by the Department of Veterans Affairs, which to me is an honor to have and a responsibility to bear. And one of the things that I do is I explore what options there are for clients. And a lot of people don't know that these benefits exist. And the benefit I'm talking about is the VA pension with aid and attendance. It's under a program in the VA code under a pension program. So that there lies in the first area of confusion. But it's for those who served during a period of war or conflict. I call them war, but VA calls them conflict sometimes. And if they served 1 day active, they don't have to have. They didn't have to serve in the war. They just had to be active during 1 day of that war or action or whatever you want to call it.
Interesting.
Conflict.
Yeah.
And it also encompasses spouses, widows, widowers. So, for a perfect example, my grandmother's 92. My grandfather hasn't been around for over 25 years now, unfortunately, but she never remarried. He's a World War II veteran. So, as she broke her hip, after she broke her hip, she broke her leg, and she had a series of issues. When she went home, we got her this pension, and it's $1,117 a month that automatically goes into her bank account, and we use it to hire an aide. It's an amazing benefit. And when you calculate her life expectancy and how long she's going to get this benefit, she just turned 92 on Sunday. So
that's
she's doing
great.
Well.
Congratulations.
Amazing.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, but if you add her life expectancy and everything else, this could be a $70,000, $80,000, $90,000 benefit for her.
Definitely.
It's a tremendous benefit.
And I bet you're going to tell me next that a lot of those benefits go unnoticed. Maybe.
Oh, mostly all of them.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So to have an expert, to turn to like yourself in your office, I mean, that can be huge in terms of quality of life for your family and loved ones. I mean, it's a no-brainer.
Right, and you just have to know, as an attorney, there's an extra responsibility because you have to know what you're doing, because if you even give advice, you're practicing law without a license. But more importantly, in my opinion, people are doing things that will end up hurting them in the long run because they're now disqualifying them for Medicaid. So what we have to do, it's called planning. A lot of real focus in on what the right way of coming up with a solution is for our clients. And that often entails creating a strategy for both VA and Medicaid, and the rules aren't the same. And if you're not familiar with the rules, which 99% of people aren't, by doing something, what they thought was the right way, automatically disqualified them for maybe a much larger benefit down the road. So
yeah, and they can be confusing. I mean,
exactly.
To be honest with you as well. We're here with Evan Turk. He's from Turk Law Group. Great website. There's a ton of info on it. turklawgroup.com. And ton of practice areas, which I'm going to try to get into a lot of them. If you want to see any of this show in the future, we're on Facebook Live on All County Healthcare's page or allcountyhealthcare.com. There's a radio show link. I'm actually sharing to Facebook Live now. I just saw it pop up, so wanted to do that. Now, you don't only do VA benefits.
No.
You also, I'm sure these don't even list all of them, but there's practice areas: estate and trust, asset protection, elder law. We talked a little bit about VA benefits, and we're going to talk about more of them. Tax planning, charitable planning, and legislative advocacy, and of course, consulting. And you're an author as well. In terms of what we were just talking about with VA benefits, it's almost good to talk to someone like yourself, and also with elder law, maybe get something planned in advance, maybe get something in print, so you have something to put in the safe deposit box, maybe.
Exactly.
And then moving on, maybe even to like a will or testament.
Yeah, I tell all of my clients the most profitable thing that I can do as a lawyer that I do not want to do as a lawyer is to administer an estate. To do a probate is probably the most lucrative component of estates and trust. And it can become very expensive, and there's a lot of fighting to be had. And that happens when you don't have an appropriate plan. And they always say, a failure to plan is a plan for failure. So I see that every day.
Definitely. Now, I'm kind of jumping around. Your areas of interest or practice areas are very broad here. They touch a lot of different areas.
Right.
Can you help out with disability as well?
It's not one of my specialties, but I do work with co-counsels, and we have a good team, And I use the team approach, and especially if I'm not the best in what we do, I'm going to find the best for my client, and that's my responsibility. So if anyone has any issues with disability claims, I can consult with you and refer you to the best.
And of course, Medicaid, which you mentioned a few times.
Oh yeah, and we have done a great amount of Medicaid planning, getting people benefits, whether it's skilled nursing, which is a nursing home, or something less than that, when appropriate.
And then, of course, Medicare, which there's the regular Medicare, and I was having someone on, and a Medicare expert, and we were talking about Plan B and this and that.
Yeah.
You can help navigate through that as well?
Yeah, it's extremely confusing. Like I said earlier, the fact that there's two programs with pretty much the same name, Medicare and Medicaid, and they completely are two different programs. One is an entitlement program, the other one is not. It's just an interesting area of confusion with my clients. But yeah, we always review their situation. We educate our clients on what they are entitled to under the Medicare program, how long those benefits last, and if it is appropriate to explore Medicaid.
Now, another reason I wanted to have you on the show, and I think you're going to answer this, that we have a lot of seasonal residents.
Yes.
So, and a lot of them from this area are from the Northeast. I'm originally from Jupiter. I'm a true Floridian.
Wow.
Native.
I heard of people that.
There used to be 7%. There's many more now, though.
Right.
So a lot of this coast are from the Northeast, New Jersey, New York, Boston, Massachusetts area. I feel like a lot of the West Coast is from like Chicago and Wisconsin and Indiana and those areas. But we have people from all over. But is it correct to say that you can help out with healthcare issues and any kind of law issues on your practice areas here in South Florida and the Northeast? Is it New Jersey?
Yeah, I'm in it to practice also in New Jersey.
Okay.
And once I send the paperwork out to the state of New York, I'll be admitted to practice in New York as well.
Oh, that's good to know right here in Boca Raton. We have a lot of seasonal residents from New Jersey and New York.
And a lot of times we're dealing with both laws, both areas, because the client is, they have a house in New York and a house down here or Jersey or anywhere, but a lot of the clients in Southeast Florida originate from the Northeast, so and we're very familiar with the issues when you're dealing with a plan that encompasses two completely different systems of law.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, they're two different states, different communities. I mean, there's a whole big difference there.
I love it, though. I love navigating through the system, creating a solution for my clients. So a lot of what happens is clients are down here in Florida, but their children live up north, and they start needing more and more care, and the children are working, so they're not going to be able to bring themselves down to Florida. So we can create a strategy for Florida, and then all of a sudden we have to make sure that it's compliant with a strategy up in New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Connecticut. We deal with those issues all the time.
He's Evan Turk. He's a lawyer and owner of Turk Law Group. The website's turklawgroup.com, 561-665-6570.
That is correct.
I got it right.
Yes,
great website. I'm actually pulling a lot of info from there. I mean, really well done. Let's take a quick commercial break, and on the other side, we're going to talk a little bit about a book on asset protection that Evan wrote on the How to Stay Healthy show.
All County Healthcare, Inc. is locally owned and operated, serving the Tri-County area, Palm Beach, Dade, and Broward counties for the last 25 years. The practice of medicine is changing dramatically. All County Healthcare, Inc. still does it the old-fashioned way, where our nurses and healthcare professionals come into your home to service your medical needs, providing you the fastest and best care possible. For more information, call 954-717-7027. And remember, Medicare Home Care is covered by Part A of Medicare with no out-of-pocket cost to you. It's your decision, and only your decision, on what healthcare agency you use. Call today. All County Home Health Care, Inc. at 954-717-7027. License 200999096.
How to stay healthy. It's a question asked by many people and answered by few. On How to Stay Healthy with David DePino, I'm going to bring you the latest in health news by interviewing top doctors from South Florida and around the world. Tune in on Fridays at 5:30 p.m. right here on WWNN Radio 95.3 FM and 1470 AM, the Health and Wealth Network, to hear the latest health treatments and my curveball question of the hobbies and passions in life doctors pursue when not providing medicine. And now back to How to Stay Healthy, your weekly doctor's interview and prescription to better health. Hello, South Florida, and welcome back. We're here with Evan Turk from turklawgroup.com. Let me make a correction, turklawgroup.com. We're talking about VA benefits, estate planning, elder law, etc. Mr. Turk covers a lot of different areas of law, and he's also an author. So I need you to brush off on me because I have all these books started and haven't finished them. But your book is Asset Protection by Design.
Correct.
Tell us a little bit about the book and how it came about and how you're able to get published.
So one of the things that I realized I was doing over and over again was detailing letters to my clients saying the same thing. So I decided one day I'm just going to start writing a blog. And I created all of these articles. And then what I ended up doing was realizing I might as well make a book out of this. And it was quite extensive. And then I realized that I was writing for my peers, not writing to my audience. So as much as people are passionate about the aging process, let's face it, they want a quick solution that they can understand.
Definitely.
So this book was a few hundred pages, and then it's now very easy. It's very thin. I could throw it. It flies across the room. But what's good about the book is it gets right to the point, and it takes a very difficult concept and summarizes it not only in a way where our clients can understand it, or anyone can understand it, but it also gives an example. And when I was in law school, there was a book that I would always purchase that would supplement our law school material, which would just give examples. And that's how I mirrored this book. Just, this is how the benefit works. Here's an example. Because people don't like to read rules. They like to know in a sense of a story. We're humans. We like to tell stories to people. So I made it in that type of format. I think it's been extremely successful because of that.
And on your website, turklawgroup.com, it says, get your copy of our latest book. How do people get a copy?
You go on my website, www.turklawgroup.com. And for this week and this week only, until I say otherwise, we're giving it away for free. Yes, free. And they say nothing in life is free. Well, this is free. It's worth every penny. You should go on my website, turklawgroup.com, and you follow the icons. You'll navigate through it. It'll take you a whopping 30 seconds, and we will ship you your book for free.
Yeah, and definitely take the time to do that. There's a lot of great information, like I've mentioned a few different times, and maybe reading that will keep someone out of, if I get this right, probate.
Partially. This covers a lot more than just the elder planning. This covers why people do estates and trust work, what the purpose is, what probate is, how to avoid it. Also, it goes into more of the strategies I work with on my more comprehensive planning, asset protection, offshore planning, domestic planning, the differences, and does it in a way that's very concise and easy to understand. And my clients like, having this book, and I like having it too, because I say read chapter 4. That will explain you a lot, and I don't have to bill you for writing 20 pages of information.
Nice. Yeah.
Right? It's saving my clients money.
Appreciate it.
It's part of asset protection.
Yeah, there you go. And another part of that is, thinking about, we talk a lot about the baby boomers generation on this show, and what a great generation. I mean, the greatest generation. So one of the things with the baby boomers is they're the largest growing population in the U.S.
Right.
So they have a lot of assets at this time in their life. I mean, most of them have accumulated assets, and you got to know the ins and outs
And
of
what I
protection.
tell everybody is nobody really says, you know what I want to do? I want to work my butt off for as long as my health will allow me to do. I want to accumulate a fortune, and then what I want to do is have no plan to keep it.
Unbelievable.
And do you know how many people I have seen? You know, I have a lot of clients who are doctors and other professionals, business owners, and I do wonderful things for them, and you can protect a lot of money. But what about the person who has the smaller fortune as well? I have a client as an example who got into a car accident, and you know, they're on fixed income, and having a strategy for them with a proper plan in place is just as important as a client of mine who has 15, 20, 30 million dollars that needs to be protected.
And we're here with Evan Turk from Turk Law Group. It's turklawgroup.com. Estate and trust, asset protection, elder law, veterans benefits, tax planning, charitable planning, which I want to ask you a question about in a minute.
Please do.
Legislative advocacy, consulting. But before I get to that, Evan Turk's number is 561-665-6570, and your office is located in Boynton Beach.
In Boynton Beach, yes.
3695 West Boynton Beach Boulevard.
Yes.
Nice. Suite 9.
Suite 9.
I'm a Boynton Beach resident, so I'll remember that.
Yes. Great,
So,
great town.
It is, and it's
Yeah.
it's definitely going through a little bit of a renaissance, so that's great news for Boynton Beach as well. Like I said, I want to ask you a little bit about charitable planning because definitely in this area of Boca Raton, I mean, there's a lot of great organizations, a lot of fundraising going on, and charitable causes. So, is that a big part of your practice?
It's a huge part
Really?
of my practice. Yes. We, my wife and I have our own foundation that is a public foundation as well, and it allows people to support a lot of causes. And we're also doing a lot with other charities by having events, hosting events. We call it partying with a purpose.
Nice.
And we are, we do a lot in the local community to raise money. But on the planning side, as an attorney, what I do, and I've created an expertise, is navigating through the all the troubles in raising money, sustaining that money, using the money properly, making sure it's done without any hiccups. We have some serious issues. There's a case right now pending that's a criminal activity just by somebody who's doing a not criminal act by helping out and giving their blood, sweat, and tears to do the right thing.
Yeah, definitely. So definitely great to have an expert in your corner who can help with charitable planning. Legislative advocacy, I got to ask you about that one. That one's a little confusing to me.
It's government relations work.
Okay.
We have, my main office is in Boynton Beach, but we have a national presence, and we do a lot of work in New York and a lot of work in D.C.
Okay.
And without going political here, one of the things that we really like to do is tie in our relationship with D.C., with the veterans and the benefits and everything else, which requires us to have good contacts and knowing the right people. And fortunately, there are good people out there in D.C., believe it or not. They do exist. I've met them.
Definitely, and that ties in to your VA work here because that's definitely a connection as well. And great VA hospital in West Palm Beach. And Mr. Evan Turk can help any veterans or family members navigate through that VA benefit system like we talked about before. Medicaid, Medicare benefits as well. I know we have a couple more minutes. I wanted to ask you, I know you practice in New Jersey. Are you originally from that area?
Yes.
Okay.
Believe it or not, there's not many people living in Florida from New Jersey, but I am one of them.
And you said what town?
Rockaway, New Jersey, which is about 40 miles west of Manhattan.
Okay,
So
nice.
according to my wife, that's west New Jersey. Because it's
and I'm
40
sure
miles.
we have a lot of listeners from there.
Yeah.
So my recent tie-in to New Jersey, I'm reading Born to Run by Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, the boss.
And if you have a chance, pick it up. It's a great memoir. He just takes me through the landscape of New Jersey. Obviously Asbury Park, but all the seaside towns and bars that he played in, and it's just an amazing story. And my dad's actually from New Jersey. I've been up there a few times on my way through New York City, and I definitely want to check out the southern part of the Garden State and more of the coast if I ever get a chance. So that was my little tie-in there. I'm reading about all the towns.
It's great. There's a lot of things you can do in New Jersey. It's a great town in the fall. Watch the leaves change, and you can drive to Princeton. You could drive throughout the state in 2-3 hours. It's not like in Florida.
No.
And if you drive 3 hours, you're in a completely different world with a completely different culture. Whereas in here, you drive 4 hours and you're in Tampa, and it's pretty much the same
thing.
Yeah.
So we got about a minute left. Thank you so much for joining me on the program and talking to the listeners and viewers a little bit about what you do. It's turklawgroup.com is the website, and once again the number's 561-665-6570. Give Evan Turk and his team a call and see if they can help you out with VA benefits, elder law, healthcare law, any questions you have. Thanks again for being on the program.
Thank you.
We'll have to have you on again in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you, and good evening. Good night. For a prescription to better health from the top doctors in the medical fields of cardiology, neurology, orthopedics, sports medicine, and primary care, join us each week on the How to Stay Healthy show.